So in this segment, we're going to be talking about the Taoiseach, the Irish Prime Minister, brain went there, welcoming a change of tone from Lord Frost. So the Taoiseach has said that there has been a change of tone in the UK-EU negotiations on the Northern Ireland Protocol. Michael Martin told the Irish Parliament that he felt UK negotiations had indicated they want a resolution, which is good news. Honestly, it's really good news. The Taoiseach said he believed political parties in Northern Ireland want to remain a part of the single market, the European single market. I wonder why. Is it because they're not facing the shortages that we're facing in GB? His comments came as the Irish Foreign Minister said the protocol issues could be resolved before Christmas. Again, that's a bold statement, and that would depend on the UK more than the EU. The EU have set out their stall. They're saying we're going to cut 80% of checks, things on medicines, etc. We're going to try and make life as easy as possible for goods going from GB to NI. It's up to the UK or GB to kind of act next. His comments came. Simon Coveney said the EU's hope, but we'll see by the weekend if that's realistic or not. So it's a bit of a weird one. But he's saying we hope things will change, but we'll see. He was speaking in Brussels after a meeting with the European Commissioner Maros Sefcovic, who feels like a guy we speak about every other day. Sefcovic is due to meet the UK Brexit Minister Lord Frost on Friday, so this stuff's already happened, depending on when you actually watch this video. But it's important to note there has been a change of tone, and we'll kind of talk about why, kind of my speculation on it. Frost is meeting Donaldson in Belfast and will meet other parties on Wednesday. Jeffrey told the BBC News of Northern Ireland he did not detect the government is resigning from a commitment to Article 16 or take other decisive action to restore Northern Ireland's place within the UK's internal market, blah, blah, blah. So we know, based on more recent articles, the government have said they're not going to trigger Article 16 until after Christmas or something around there. So what they're saying is that they're not going to use it. So Donaldson is in a very precarious position because he's been threatening for a long time, saying, I'm going to close down Stormont, the UK need to do Article 16 and blah, blah, blah. And so he's been shown to have little to no leverage, essentially, which is not a position you want to be in when you're acting like the big man. Right, Jeffrey? So, however, he added he would test that position further in his meeting with Lord Frost. UUP leader Doug Beattie said he was not expecting any big announcements from the Brexit minister, which we haven't actually got any big announcements yet. He said, I'm going to make it clear that what we need here in Northern Ireland is stability, he said, which is great. I agree with that. What Northern Ireland does need is stability. So we need people like you to stop saying the protocol is a bad deal and it needs to be replaced, because the protocol is not going to be replaced, and therefore that makes you the person who's creating instability, Mr. Doug Beattie. So stop it. Stop it. Mr. Beattie said the issue of trade, medicines and democratic deficit must be resolved now. Let's look at each one, okay? Trade, they're looking at resolving by getting rid of the vast majority of checks. Medicines, they're also looking at resolving those. The EU have offered very generous proposals on medicines. The democratic deficit, I think the EU have said they want the Irish executive to be more involved with decisions surrounding the Northern Ireland Protocol. The EU aren't going to give them MEPs because Northern Ireland is not an official member of the EU. It's kind of more... trying to think of a country that is in the single market and customs union. It's kind of more like a Norway, I guess, but I don't think Norway's in the customs union. But it's not a full-fledged EU member. It's not a fully fledged EU member, should we say, because of GB. So they don't actually get much of a say in terms of EU legislation. But I think, like Switzerland, that's probably the example I should have gone for. More closer to a Switzerland, they should get some sort of consultation on new EU rules, but they wouldn't have a veto or any votes. So the democratic deficit is being looked at by the EU as well. So all 3 points the EU are dealing with or have dealt with and have made offers around it. So his point there is just rubbish. I mean, not a great couple of statements from Mr. Doug Beattie. On Monday, Boris Johnson said we would rather find a negotiated solution to the problems created by the Northern Ireland Protocol. You mean the problems that you created, my friend? and that seems possible. If we do invoke Article 16, which by the way is perfectly legitimate part of that protocol, we will do so reasonably and appropriately. So he's saying it's perfectly legitimate to start using bits of Article 16, which is not true. We won't get away with it and it won't work. Coveney said some problems could be resolved quickly while others will take a bit longer, which is true. They are looking at resolving certain issues as they come about, but when the UK says things like, oh yeah, you gotta get rid of like DCJ, bro, and you're like, what are you talking about? No, that's not going to happen. That's where you get a big spanner in the works. But what you can gather from this article is that there is a massive change of tone from the UK, and we've seen the UK kind of backpedal a lot over threats to use Article 16. Remember, Frost said originally, I want a solution by October, then he said November, and then he said by December, then he said by Christmas, and now we find out in a more recent article, which we'll talk about at some point, depending on how the schedule works, that the UK have said it's not going to trigger it by Christmas. So what do you gather from this? The UK, I think, realises this is the best. Potentially, this is the way I would see it. The UK realises this is the best deal we're going to get out of the EU. We can't push for any more concessions. We have to accept these new kind of concessions around agri-food, around trade, medicines, etc. As they are now, because we're not going to get anything more out of the EU. So the UK would be smart to take what is on offer, but the UK is not very smart. So we're going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, support on Patreon if you can, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.